going on, everybody? Welcome back to Some Idiot with a Wrench. I'm the idiot, and this is what I'm wrenching on. So, in my last couple videos, I've been tearing this apart, my 69 Chevelle with a small block 350, in the very honorable goal of making it go faster. In the last episode of this saga, I put the new cam in, and I kind of talked about that. Didn't really film a lot of what I did here. I kind of just talked about it at the end. Today, we're not going to do that. Today, hopefully, I'm actually going to be filming how I attach these new super cool go fast Vortec heads. I am so excited to get these on the car finally. It has been a bit of a saga getting here, several weeks worth of adventure and blood, sweat, tears, and all that other happy crap. But today is the day. I'm at least gonna get one head put on correctly. Now, I have never done this. I've done so much reading and YouTube video watching and all of that other crap to get here to feel, well, I'm not gonna say confident, to get to the point where I'm gonna slap them on and we're just gonna figure it out. At this point, I'm just ready to be done with it. So, in that vein, because I don't really know any better, and if you Google how to attach a head to a small block Chevy, you're gonna get 80 billion different people telling you 80 billion and one different things to do. So, really simply, I just picked a video. I think I watched Derek from Vice Grip do it. And then my head bolt kit actually came with some really nice directionals. And I'm actually gonna read what these say to do and do what they say. I actually spent the money on the real ARP deals, right? Took me until literally I opened that box and read the cool sticker they gave me. The ARP stands for Automotive Racing Products, which is really cool. I had no idea that that's, like, it was an acronym. So, I mean, if you were wondering if you had more brain cells than me, there's your sign. Now, the directions say to use thread sealant on any water passages, water jackets. When I took the old heads off, those dudes, all of my short bolts on the side of the head, this side here, that face towards the fender, were water jackets. I do not have the recommended thread sealant, so I went to O'Reilly's, and this is literally the only size they've got. So I got 2 or 3 of these little tubes. Who knows if they're actually gonna be up to snuff? I don't. ARP also recommends to use fastener assembly lubricant for everything. They send you a nice little, like, condom pouch full of the stuff. And the thought process makes sense, right? Like, you want the bolts when they're turning to be as lubricated as possible so that your torque wrench is actually measuring, like, the actual torque on the bolt and the thing that you're bolting, instead of overcoming any kind of friction from the actual spinning. You want to actually measure the force that bolt is putting down on whatever thing that you're trying to clamp. I don't know why that was so fucking hard to say, right? And they actually expressly say in the directionals, I gave them a once over before I picked the camera up. They actually say to not use motor oil or WD or any of those other lower quality lubricants. They really recommend that you use their stuff, obviously, or another, like, purpose-built lubricant, right? Bolt and assembly lubricant. So, all that being said, I'm gonna go with ARP's instructions almost to the letter on how I'm going to throw these bad boys on. They also say here to torque in 3 separate rounds up to 70 foot-pounds, which, according to my Chilton's manual, aka the Bible, that is what a small block Chevy V8 head needs to be torqued to. So I don't think 70 gets cut into 3 evenly, like the directions say. I'm not that good at math, but I think I've got that part figured out. So I think what I'm gonna do is take them all to 20, and then 50, and then 70. That feels right to me. Yeah, so that's about it. That's the plan. That's what we're doing. That's how we're gonna do it. So let's stop yapping and get to actually doing it. Okay. Hey, it's on there. Awesome. So if you didn't know, I've got no idea if I'm in frame or not, because I am professional. Jesus Christ, that was a lot. I'm fat. So if you didn't know, there are little dowels on the top of your block on your deck surface. So not only does your head gasket like clip onto that, well, clip on, slide over it, and it keeps it lined up. There's provisions in the heads so that you can do this, put them on the block, and then they're not gonna want to move around on you. The heads aren't, while you get these guys slapped on here. Jesus. I am too out of breath for that. I need to go start going to the fucking gym. Man. So, as far as I could tell, or from what I can tell from reading these instructionals, so it does give you, I guess there's a chamfered side of those washers for these head bolts. So position the chamfered side of the washer on the bolt so it faces the bolt head, not the cylinder head. Okay, so the chamfered wants to go up. Cool. All right, that makes sense. I'm glad they put it there though, because I'm an idiot. So I think what I'm gonna do, because it does recommend to tighten these down to get them all hand tight, and then start doing your rotation, right, for your foot pounds and whatnot. So please tell me you didn't already lose that thread sealant. No, it's in there. So I'm gonna open up that little itty bitty, the world's smallest tube of thread sealant, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the bolts on the outside here. Just put the thread sealant on and run them down, and then I'm gonna worry about getting the tall boys in, and then I'm gonna come in with the torque wrench and do all the torculating and all that other fancy crap. So, cool. Where's the pocket knife? I'm having a great time so far, aren't you? Thought so. All right. I really love how shit like this gets sold, right? Like your thread sealant, some of your cheaper like thread lockers and stuff, like the one time only capillator things. Like I never get these to cut right. I never get them to do what I want them to do. I always end up like using like the world's smallest amount, and then they never like seal properly again, and I don't know. Come on, you motherfucker. Ugh. I've got absolutely no idea how much to use. So I'm just going to use what is probably way too much and just hope that I'm not hurting anything. I'm not actually using the ratchet to ratchet, I'm just using it to get this guy down here finger tight. Maybe. The directionals did say to use to like clean your threads, and I didn't do that because I don't know how. Oh, and I'm lazy, so I'll probably have to redo this. You guys will watch it. I'll film it. I like don't have any of the tools for that, and it didn't really feel. Oh god damn it! I don't have a washer on this guy. It didn't feel super necessary. I don't know. Pick your battles. Come here, you. Now, it does kind of seem ridiculous now that I'm thinking about it. I spent all that work prepping everything else. Why not the actual threads in the head? I don't know. didn't feel quite as necessary. That one's down. I know it looks like I'm using this ratchet right now, but I'm really just taking it until they're snug. Just barely hand tight. One of the things that I was actually most excited about with this build, if you want to call this a build, I don't know, I guess anything can be a build. Don't gatekeep. Is that I got to buy a bunch of new tools, which is always exciting, even for an amateur like me. I am quite fond of new tools. So I went down to good old Harbor Freight for debatably the most important tool of this build, the torque wrench, because being the professional mechanic that I am, I didn't own one before this. So I went and bought the cheapest digital torque wrench I could find. Of course it came from Harbor Freight. I don't know, the reviews online look good. If you go and you watch Project Farm, like I do, he's got a video series, or a video review of torque wrenches, digital torque wrenches. And the Quinn, which is Harbor Freight's brand of Chinesium, is actually ranked really well on his scale. Like, it did exceptionally well. Which, I mean, if it's good enough for that guy, it's good enough for me. I am by no means an authority on these things. Man, this is gonna look mean as shit with this, with these black bolts down here on this orange head. I'm really glad I painted these. And I'm really glad you guys liked that video. At least it seems like you guys did. I got a whole 200 views on it. 2 or 3 as of filming this video. I really appreciate that. I'm not saying that I want to be a professional YouTuber and make a shitload of money working on cars and doing the shit that I love. But it would be really fucking cool. Plus, I don't know, it just looked fun. I've watched YouTube as like my primary like entertainment space for years. You know, since before, you know, for a long time. It's been like my primary streaming app. And it feels cool to finally be like making videos and actually actively participating in the ecosystem that I've enjoyed as like a consumer for so long. It's really cheap to do too. Like, if you really want to do it cheaply, I went and bought a GoPro, obviously, but like, you can do it with a cell phone. I'm sure that's how a lot of people start. Just go out and film yourself doing shit, man. I feel like it's like anything else in life. Like, if you're passionate about it, like, people like passionate people. That's like the way that works. It like inspires people. At least that's what people who are smarter than me say. Careful on the old TikTok or Instagram shorts. It's really easy to fall into the inspirational guru trap. Listen to whatever the fuck Goggins' his name is, that guy, and Jocko Willink and all these other go fast types talk about how to do shit. And then all of a sudden you're talking to a camera in your garage and your neighbor thinks you're fucking crazy. Oh well. There are worse things. All right, that is all of those. I'm gonna pick up the little magic brick with all of humanity's knowledge and see if any of these guys here are also water jackets, any of the top holes. I got a feeling one or two of them might be, so bear with me, I'll be right back. Oh my Jesus, speaking of my back. Oh man. All right, so I just read some forums from some smarter people than me on the internet, and they just seal all of their head bolts. Fucking planes, dude. I fucking hate it here, man. But anyway, all the forum gurus, they seal all of them, and I forgot to lubricate the 8 bolts that I put on the bottom side of this head over here. So the dirtbag in me really just wants to like say fuck it, but I'm not gonna, because I've come too far to do this the wrong way. So let's get to it. That landed in my exhaust pipe that I haven't taken off the car yet because I'm really fucking lazy. That literally went down the detached exhaust pipe, that is. Still very much attached to the rest of my fucking car. Jesus fuck! Fuck, fuck, fuck. That is where I just dropped my 1/2-inch socket. Right there, down into the fucking Narnia. And I'm not getting it back. Not for another couple weeks. Because I ain't fucking with the exhaust on this thing until the heads are on and good and all that shit. But look at how good that thing looks right there. Hey, and that's what they make wrenches for, right? Did I just lose the thing? Please tell me I didn't lose the thing. Dalton. That ought to do her. All right. Just put you there. All right, now there are actually 3 head bolt sizes. You got the really short guys, like the ones I just put in here, that look like this. And then you've got 2 that look kind of long, right? A long boy and a less long boy. The really long guys, you can see where they go. It's like that's, yeah, right? They're in like the middle part of the head. It's the highest point. Fuck! So like I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, you've actually got 3 head bolt sizes. Shorty, mid, and a long boy. Now shorty goes all along the bottom because of course the long guys go in these high spots, right? These high holes, right? Now the mid guys, there's only 2 per head. Here and then in the same place on the other end. The whatever this thing is like higher up, so but not quite as low as these guys down there. Look at how good that black and orange looks, by the way. Stay on task. But the mid ones go in here. That's it. That's all I wanted to show you before the plane and my camera battery decided to tell me to fuck myself. So I'm gonna let the GoPro cool off and charge for a couple minutes, but all I'm going to be doing is running thread sealant along the bottom of the threads and then using El Condom wherever it went of ARP lubricant on the top half near like the top of the bolts, so that they, in the washers, so that they spin nice and easily up here at the top. That's it. Okay, so all the bolts are in. And this is what we're looking like. Looking pretty sharp, if I do say so myself. Look at that. So they're all lubed at the top, under and on top of the washer, like between the washer and the head on the bolt. And they're also lubricated between the washer and the head. Cool. And water sealed. That's also important. Now it's time to torquelate them. This is what I'm going to be using to do that. The Quinn digital torque wrench. It was like $170 normally, I think. But your boy got there on a deal and got it on sale. Or I had a coupon or something. I only paid like 120 bucks for it. So, outstanding. I think it's going to work okay. If you watch Farm Tools review and another review, if you go find review channels for tools and watch a couple of those videos, I might link a couple down below. That actually holds up really well, especially compared to some very high dollar digital torque wrenches. One of the videos I saw, they put it through 1,000 like torque tests at 50, 100, 150, 200, right? And it was the most accurate after all of them. Like it had the least amount of degradation. I'm not going to use it that much, but it's still cool. So still a good sign. Now, what's not a good sign is I went and hunted through every single one of my mystery sockets that have like popped out of Narnia into my garage over the last couple years. And I cannot find another 3/8 inch drive half-inch socket. I only found one other half-inch socket, and it was in the I Drive a Shitbox ratchet set that I keep under the bench of the C10. So I had to go and find this guy. Borrowed it from my neighbor. And I don't know if you can see, but it's like covered in rust and grime. And it's one of those like head deals, all the superstar socket guy things. So if there's a loud snap and a twist, I'm really hoping it's this socket and not one of the bolts into the head, into the block. So we're gonna, charge ahead, obviously. Oh, and because I'm a real professional, this is a half-inch drive, this is 3/8. So on top of the shit covered rusty socket, I'm going to be using a little adapter doohickey straight from Pittsburgh Tool Company because, again, I know what I'm doing. So let's hope that doesn't explode in my hand. And get to it. Oh, one more thing. So the actual pattern to like bolt this down, right? You can't just go left to right or right to left. You actually have to like do a pattern. A lot of people say to go in a circle, like start in the middle on this one here and then like do a circle that gets ever wider, but like it's a square, or I guess rectangle technically. I passed the shapes test in kindergarten, I promise. So it's not a circle, so you'll watch me figure it out. I don't know. One of my 3 brain cells will come up with a plan for that as I like get into it, I hope. So yeah. Just wanted to point that out. There is a specific way that you have to like bolt it, and I'm sure if I bothered to read and pull out my Chilton manual, the Bible, and look it up, it would tell me exactly what to do, but reading's hard, and I already read the little slip on the ARP like box thing that came there, those instructions, and I've kind of like met the quota for the day. So I'm just gonna eat it. We'll see if it works out. Now, I really gotta say, I feel like a professional mechanic with this like super fancy torque wrench. Like, I know I'm not, don't let me deceive you, but I do, it does feel that way. Come on, there we go. 20. We're gonna do 20 foot-pounds, then 30 foot-pounds, no, 20 foot-pounds and 50, and then finally get to the magic number 70. All right. Oh shit. Remember when I said I feel like a professional mechanic? Definitely not so much. I just pushed a button and now the magical digital wizard in here is yelling at me and I don't know why, and I'm confused. Fixed it. I just took the battery out and it did something. All right, where were we? All right, there's 20. Now let's do 30. No, 50, fuck. Fuck. Yeah. Look at this. That thing couldn't even get me to 50. I don't think camera caught it, but when I heard it first start to give, felt it first start to give, and then there was that pop, there's a little puff of magic dust out of the socket, I about shit a brick, bro. Big white brick. But I guess I owe my neighbor a new 1/2-inch socket. So I'm gonna take a bit of a break, maybe drink a beer, and have a good think about how I'm gonna do this. I really don't want to drive to O'Reilly's just for a 1/2-inch socket. I also really don't want to dive under this car and try and take the fucking exhaust off. So we'll see. I'm gonna have a think and I'll be back. Okay, that's a great sound. So I think I found a solution. It's not perfect. It's a deep well socket, at least made by DeWalt. You know, at least they picked the good Chinese foundry. But it's a 1/4-inch drive. I think, at least that's what I think the itty bitty boys are. So it's a bit janky, but I already tested it on 1 bolt and it like worked at least to 50. We'll see if it makes it to 70. But just to be clear, this is not probably the best setup to do this. I've got a 1/2-inch drive with a adapter-rooney into a 3/8 drive that is then adapter-roonied again into 1/4-inch drive. Professional. That felt a little sketchy. Give it back! Come on. There we go. All right, there's 50. So here comes the scary one. I felt something starting to give on that one. Oh. Yeah, found what was given. God damn it, man. Oh, shit. If that doesn't fucking suck. Should have known that a 3/8 inch drive probably wouldn't have handled 70 pounds. Again, about had a heart attack. Thought it was the bolt, but it wasn't. Oh man, okay. So I gotta have another think. I'll be back. Alrighty. Okay, so it's done. I know I didn't film it. Battery's getting kind of low. Running out of the magic lightning inside the little recorder cube. So they are all torqued down to spec at 70. This is the pattern I did. I went from here to there, and then I did these 4. And then I came up and did this one, and then my outer 2 up here, outer 2 over here, outer 2 right here, and then finally these 2. And my circle pattern, I went over at 70 twice. After I was done, and I was able to do so because the mystical wizard that is the old lady's father brought me like the proper tools for the job, an actual 1/2 inch to 1/2 inch socket, 1/2 inch thing with an extendo thing on it. Whew, made the job so much easier. Still was very nerve-wracking. There were a couple points where like I was just sitting at 68, 68, 68 and just kept pushing, right? Slowly, just, man, I just did not want to snap one of these bolts. It was the most nerve-wracking part of this build so far. But I was slow. I didn't just yank that torque wrench over. I was very, 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 very slow. And I made sure that as soon as I saw 70 a couple times, a couple of the consistent beeps, called it, moved on, right? Because these bolts go to, man, they stretch and all that other crap, right? So you don't want to take it any farther than that. You don't want them to snap. So, ooh, neighbor's C10 firing up. So that's it. Oh my goodness. 2 sockets later, well, socket and an adapter and my good 1/2 inch, right? The one that was in this set, the set that I use for just about everything. It went down in there, in that exhaust pipe. That's why I was scrounging for like shitty sockets. The car ate my good one, and that exhaust pipe is still attached to like the rest of the car. And I don't know if you can see, but there's like a lot of shit, and I didn't want to, don't feel like jacking it up and fighting with fucking exhaust just to finish this head. And like that sealant and stuff, like you need to get it set before that stuff sets. That was probably the dumbest sentence I've said this video. There's another fucking plane. Anyway, if you've hung out this long to the end, through all the chaos, I appreciate you. I really hope you got something out of this video. Hopefully I at least made you laugh. Anyway, have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.